Hello friends, this is Yuom. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm sharing what's next after material decluttering and simplifying, and I'll be diving deep into my next step of emotional decluttering and letting go of the ego through advanced minimalism. Because I have gone through close to 6 years of minimalism and also all the ups and downs, including the burnout, the perfectionism trap, and common beginner's block, I now feel that I have the proper background and resources to shed some light on where my obsession to material accumulation originates from. And I have the understanding of what really needs to be decluttered more than anything at this stage of my life. So my current focus is to finally invest in letting go of the mental construct, the programming that brought about my shopping addiction and excessive accumulation many years ago. So to me, advanced minimalism is in itself an expression of life, meaning there is no separation between the practice and my own life because I no longer approach minimalism selectively as a temporary phase. I feel that nowadays my life is the effortless demonstration of letting go, of surrendering and releasing the unnecessary, the things that really deplete life energy and drain my vitality. The practice in my own life situation that may differ from other practitioners is about letting go and surrendering even when I wake up, when I eat, when I speak, and even when I think and do day-to-day things. And I do this consistent letting go as much as possible, but I also focus on gentleness and a slow-paced approach. The first step in the process of lifelong decluttering is first rising to consciousness, which to me is about overcoming my self-denial by first and foremost becoming aware of my thoughts. And the method of raising one's consciousness level is, I think, a more of a bite-sized approach and less about suddenly achieving full awakening. And I feel that awareness becomes more and more available when I, as much as I can, continuously on an everyday basis, choose to face my thoughts without deception, without self-justification, and without the need for further manipulation. So by first and foremost rising to consciousness, or attempting to rise to consciousness within my capacity, I feel that a new awareness is born. Or more accurately, an awareness that was once dormant is allowed to rise to the surface. And this awareness to me is coming to the realization of the power of my own mind and further realizing the powerlessness of all my physical things. By returning to consciousness, awareness of oneself, I'm able to awaken to the built-in power of using my mind, this immense brain, to manifest and promote changes to my body, to my emotions, as well as my spiritual self, and also my physical reality in a very positive and life-changing way. With the understanding that what is held in the mind tends to manifest on the physical plane, I think it becomes a priority, at least in my case, to choose to release toxic mental construct, to release destructive thought patterns and negative programming in order to introduce radical truth, to think more positively, and most importantly, to bring about healing both internally and externally. So for me, the second step serves as the moment of pause in one's life to come to acceptance, to embrace the newfound mission or life's purpose, of letting go, of undoing and unlearning all the mental construct that I have accumulated in my lifetime so far. The third step to me is about allowing what is, meaning allowing the feelings, the sensations, and all the sensory experiences to be fully felt and finally recognized with some self-compassion, with some forgiveness and unconditional acceptance. So as much as possible, I release the guilt, the shame, the self-hatred that may come up when going through all the strong emotions or physical feelings, as well as the problems that I face in reality. So it's about allowing what is rising to be present, because it's completely okay to be human, to have these human experiences, to be alive, to live with these sensations, and to sometimes go through inner turmoil. And by no longer attaching that self-judgment and self-criticism towards my own feelings and my physical body, as well as any judgment towards other living beings, I'm able to accept myself and my friends, my family, and neighbors as a whole, including their positive and negative aspects. So temporary setbacks and any unstable moods and emotions, as well as inner disturbances, they all start to feel like natural human experiences, and they feel more innocent and more pure, and I feel less of the need to attack myself or others for being different. The fourth step to me actually stems directly from the teachings of David R. Hawkins in his book Healing and Recovery, as well as Transcending Levels of Consciousness, which has shed so much light on my path. And because of his wisdom, I'm able to now come to an understanding that at times the mind and its elaborate reality is not really my true self. And I know that this may be somewhat contradictory and somewhat strange, as the mind is used for manifestation in the first step of rising to consciousness, as I previously mentioned. But as I progress onto my path of healing and further into the steps of letting go, I now realize that even that aspect, the mind, must be surrendered at some point. And furthermore, I feel that the attachment to self-created labels and sometimes restrictive identities like minimalist or non-minimalist may need to be surrendered to prioritize the true self before the material self. And it's very important to me to come to an understanding that all these labels are simply used for the sake of convenience, to assist, but it's not here to completely define who I am or to dominate self. The formless, the non-physical self, or the spiritual self, I feel is more valuable than the outer shell. It's more valuable than the amount of knowledge I have compared to others, than my own self-righteousness, pride, or one-sided perspective. And my true self is much more valuable than the status I hold within a material and physical-based social structure. The fifth step, which is the final step, I continue to work on even through all the ups and downs of life. And this is about choosing the energy field of love and compassion to embrace the way of being a self-healer. I now think that what I want and what I think others want in my assumption is ultimately the freedom to be our authentic selves, to be kind to all living beings, to be generous, to be humble, and to be fully content with both our inner and external selves, content with what we have and what we hold inside. What I think I want is to be educated about healing, as well as to be knowledgeable in the simple necessities of life. I also want to keep working on being aware of myself and others. I want to grow and transform for the better. I want to love unconditionally myself, my brothers, my sisters, my ancestors, the animals around me, the beautiful souls, our Mother Earth, and all living beings. For me, what I call advanced or extreme minimalism, or just a deeper form of decluttering, is the practice of continuously letting go without expectation of reaching a complete or perfect state of nothingness, simplicity, or zenness. There's no point of arrival and no state of completion, but only the importance of the process itself. It's more of a step-by-step approach that continues to build and strengthen even as I progress into the next steps, and where all things can happen simultaneously in a non-linear sense, and all things are cooperating, building upon each other, and supporting the practitioner even without my awareness of it, and even if I'm on the next step. So today, I reflect on the happiness within, the joy I feel, knowing that I'm allowed to share my unfolding and journey with this community, knowing that I'm allowed to heal in this universe. And I will continue to allow myself and all of you to unfold without judgment, without rejection and denial. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for being here, my friends, and I hope to see you again soon.